Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for tuning in. I have a gorgeous palette to share with you guys. This is from Melt and this is their Gemini palette. This palette has technically not yet launched. It's launching on June 2nd, but there was a pre-sale going on. It wasn't exclusive to anybody in particular. I was following this palette like crazy. Like every day I would check in Mel's Instagram page at least thrice a day to see. I was checking on the sneak peeks on this particular palette. I have never followed a makeup product like this, guys. I was really impressed by the color selection. So they said, well, this particular palette would go on a pre-sale on this particular date. So I just bought it. That's it. It wasn't like exclusive to anybody, but I think that particular day was the only date for pre-sale, and then they had stopped it. So the actual sale date, the day it actually goes on sale, is on June 2nd. So yeah, today I'm not sure what date it is. Anyways, this is the box that it came in. When I got this, I was praying that the actual packaging would not have pictures like this. It's pretty much a collage of the owners and their personal lives, pictures from their personal lives, and I did not want that in the actual packaging. Thankfully, the actual palette does not look anything like this. Sure, it looks pretty, but I don't know the owners that personally, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this. But anyways, this is this palette retails for $58. It's expensive. It is Melt. Melt is an expensive indie brand, so yeah. I've just made my peace with it, with the price tag and everything. So $58, and this is their first ever like an eyeshadow palette. They have launched stacks. You could consider that a palette because they are usually in the same color family, or they are all released like with a theme, but they're all like either 4 shades or 5 shades together. So this is your typical usual eyeshadow palette, and this is the first for Melt. So the actual packaging looks very different, just has like roses, and also in the back it's exactly the same. The actual product, the palette, doesn't have any actual information like quantity or the list of ingredients. Everything is in the actual box. So if you want to keep anything for reference, you're going to have to save the box, or you could just look up online. But this is a limited edition palette, so if this sells out, you probably may not have information for reference, just in case. So everything is in the back of the box and not in the actual palette. I wish all the information was also in the actual palette, but you get 10 shades in this palette, and you get a net weight of 18.8 grams, which, so in each pan you get 1.88 grams of product, which is actually a good amount, you guys. Not bad at all. It's a good amount of product, and the palette is made in USA. And I see carmine in the list of ingredients, but I know that Melt is a cruelty-free brand, so this palette is not vegan, but it is cruelty-free. So yeah, that's it, you guys. Let's take a look at the beautiful palette. It does come with a mirror. It's not too big. The palette itself is like quite narrow. It is definitely long, but it's quite narrow, so the actual mirror is not that big. And here are the gorgeous colors, you guys. The theme of the palette is pretty simple. You have your greens and then you have your browns. That's it. You have your typical neutrals on this side, and then you have your special colors, which is greens pretty much. This palette revolves around browns and brown tan colors. I'm sorry, I think that's the mirror. It's just reflecting. And then you have your special colors. These 4 are the special colors, very unique colors that you don't see in your everyday palettes and your makeup releases. So these are the 4 special colors, I would say. Very beautiful, you guys. On my eyes, I have this. The lighter color in the inner 1/3 of my eyelid is this one, Mochi, and this is just one layer, you guys. It's so beautifully pigmented. And then in the 2/3 of my eyelids, in that meaning the rest of the eyelids, I have this color, this beautiful green. And then in the outer V and in the crease, I have the black. So these are, I'm sorry you guys, these are the three colors I have. And I always love to incorporate metallic eyeshadows in my eye looks. Whenever I get a chance to wear metallic eyeshadows, I always do. But this time I really wanted to give the mattes their moments because they are really good and so pigmented and they blend beautifully. So it's a lot of matte eyeshadows on the lid, and I had to incorporate this color as well. This is so beautiful and very unique. So that is what I have in the inner corner, all the way up, and also a little bit in the lower lash line. So that's pretty much my look. So let's get into the swatches, you guys. So this is Mochi. I'm barely touching it. Hang on, let me just not barely touch it. Yeah, so that is that color I have in the inner 1/3 of my eyelid. That is Mochi. And then we have Fire OG. This is like, I don't know, it's such a, I don't know how to describe it, you guys. It's so beautiful. It's like a brighter, like a olive green. It's not too dark and very, it is dark, but it's not too dirty. The green definitely has this a little bit of vibrancy to it, I feel. And that is Fire OG. And that is a matte. And then we have Golds. This is actually a foil shade. This is, I gotta be very honest with you guys, this is a very unique color, if you ask me. You see like greenish golds like this in few brands, but they all end up looking like golds. On at least on my skin tone they look gold, but this, no, it's very much a green color. It's really beautiful. I really appreciate that Melt came out with this particular color, this unique color. I do have a classic example for this. Do you see this? These two kind of look similar, right? This is Sugarpill's Money Maker and it's a foil finish. I bought this color maybe 2 years ago, thinking that it might look like this on my skin tone, but I was so disappointed because it just looks, I know it kind of looks green, but it looks very much like a gold, you guys, on my skin tone. I know it like kind of looks green, but on the eyes it looks very gold. I would not say, I don't know, it looks very similar right now, but this is very much green, you guys. This is very much gold. So I was so disappointed when I got the Sugarpill's Money Maker because it looks very, very gold on my skin tone. Although right now they look so similar. I just wanted to mention that to you guys. This Golds from the Melt palette looks very green, but whereas this one looks very gold on my skin tone. Although right now they look so similar. I don't know what to tell you guys. They are similar, but they look very different. Then we have Leo. And the Sugarpill eyeshadow is not inexpensive. I'm not saying it's a dupe at all, because this guy is $16, I think, 16 or 17. So let me just swatch once more. This is Leo. This is, I know it doesn't like swatch well, but it blends beautifully, guys. It just blends so beautifully. This is more of the dirty, muddy kind of an olive green. Whereas this, do you see, it's more, it has a little bit of vibrancy to it. This is more darker, and that's Leo. I know it doesn't swatch well, but it blends beautifully and it applies on the lid beautifully. Whether it's a blending brush or whether it's a shadow brush, flat shadow brush, it works beautifully, you guys. Then we have Bonnie. Bonnie, I have to say, is the easiest black I've ever worked with. It's pigmented, but at the same time it blends beautifully. I did not have to blend any extra seconds at all. And anytime I use Bonnie, I did not have to blend anything extra. I just applied it and I just moved my brush and it just blended as I applied it. So I'm very, very happy with Bonnie. It's a black color. And next we have Cupcake. Cupcake is a brown color, like a dark brown. I expected it to be much darker, but on my skin, I guess it darkens significantly. But in the pan, it doesn't look that dark, if you ask me. But on the skin, it definitely deepens a lot. And you could use this in place of black or even this dark olive green, because it is definitely really deep, and it will definitely provide the dimension that you're looking for when you're creating like a very you know, like a very dramatic eye look. Then we have Polka Dot. Polka Dot is kind of a mid-tone brown shade, like a mid-tone caramel, like a golden brown shade. Again, the pigmentation is good. It blends beautifully. It builds beautifully. Very, very nice, you guys. This is more on my skin tone. I would use this for just a natural look, not a very dramatic look. It doesn't give me any like a dimension in my eye look. It's just like a soft, very natural look. And then we have Lorelei, like a beautiful mustard shade, and it actually does look exactly like what you see in the pan on my skin tone. This has more green and this is more yellow. And then we have Gemini. Gemini is, I have to say, a little bit of a letdown. All the colors here are beautifully pigmented. This is a foil shade, but it's very crumbly, you guys. You definitely need to either use your fingers, or you have to wet your brush. This was the only shade that looks a little bit different from all the sneak peeks that I saw online. This looked very orange online, and it looked like it was a very unique color, but it's just your usual mid-tone copper shade. Honestly, it's nothing special, this particular shade. And finally we have Luna. Luna, I know it looks very light, but I can use this as like a transition shade. This does not look ashy on me at all. It blends and it definitely shows up, but it definitely does not look ashy on my skin tone. So I guarantee and tell you guys that this entire palette is perfectly compatible with my skin tone. I have a dark skin tone, so there's not a single eyeshadow shade that does not work on my skin tone. All of them work on my skin tone very well, and they show up very, very much true to color to what you see in the pan. You can tell I'm very happy with this palette. I love the color selection. I know these three colors are not very, I would say this is definitely unique, because a lot of the mustard shades don't really look true to color on my skin tone. So this is definitely a good find for me. The two colors that you could kind of find, the three colors that you can find everywhere would be these three, right? And this one as well. So maybe 4 colors. Oh, and this too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of the 10 colors, I would say the 5 colors you can find elsewhere, but the quality here is really good, you guys. So, and I also like that they have a theme going on, and the color selection is not all over the place. I like that if a consumer likes this color pattern, the scheme, and this color family, they would either pick it up, or if they don't like it, it's an easy pass. It's not like Urban Decay or like Too Faced, where all of the palettes have a pink and a green and a purple and like a, you know, like a copper. I mean, that also serves a good purpose. I'm not saying it's not, because it, like, with just one palette you can create multiple looks. Definitely, I'm not saying that it doesn't serve a purpose at all, but I'm really liking companies coming out with palettes with a particular theme, like Venus Excel palette, and this one, the Gemini palette, where you either like the palette or you don't like it. And I love the color selection, so that's why I picked it up. So it was a no-brainer for me. It was like an easy big yes purchase for me. So I'm very happy with this purchase. My suggestion is, if you like the colors, definitely pick it up. The quality is A+. What else? The only letdown for me was this shade, because this looked very orangey and very unique to me online in the sneak peeks that I saw on Instagram. But this guy is your usual run-of-the-mill mid-tone coppery kind of shade. So you can find that elsewhere and anywhere, to be honest. I didn't have to like pay and such a hefty price tag for this color, but otherwise all the other colors are very nice. And for this color, the Moneymaker is, I would say, such a beautifully unique color. Again, I know I showed they do look like they are dupes, you guys, but they are not dupes. The shade here, the golds, looks very, very green, while the Moneymaker shade from Sugarpill looks very gold. So all in all, I'm so happy with the palette. If Melt comes out with more eyeshadow palettes, I will definitely buy them, and I do recommend this palette. So it's just a matter of preference if you like this color theme going on. If you do really like this or not, it's just up to you. But as for me, I love the color story going on in the palette, and the quality is really, really good. They blend beautifully. They are so pigmented. You do not have to build up at all. They, as you can see today, they work beautifully with a blending brush. They work beautifully with a flat shader brush. They are actually very versatile, and you can use these palettes really well without any kind of problems or anything like that. So yeah, they are definitely expensive, but all in all, I really, really do like them, guys. The price is expensive, but you do get a good amount. It is cruelty free. They are crazy pigmented, and they blend beautifully, you guys. So that's it. I think we've come to the end of this video, and thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for spending your very precious time with me. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye bye.